Your penis is 30 minutes.
No.
It's not better than like a 2-minute penis.
A 2-minute penis is a good listener.
What if it's a 2-minute penis in the aspect of it takes you 2 minutes to get from tip to hilt?
That's too much penis.
Okay.
And there's no mention of guaranteed velocity in that either.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
it could just be like savoring it.
Yeah, it can go from that long to, down the street, depending on how fast you run.
If you can get down the street in 2 minutes, it's pretty good speed. Especially if a dick's going in your mouth at the same time.
Oh, I still have the card then.
Although at that point, I think it's going to come out the other end.
It's going to be Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
Well, not really. You wouldn't have the blood pressure to do anything with it.
Stephen Kepler.
Keplar?
ER.
ER.
In the basement. Yeah, anyways, so that's there. You were in the bathroom. The carpet in the basement has been completely redone.
Okay. Non-original.
Recently, too.
Recently, like, within this kid's lifetime?
Like within the past 2 or 3 years.
Alright.
5 years. Within the past 5 years.
I'll ask him about it.
That was, unfortunately, the water heater. It's probably being as it is slightly older than the rest of the house. Or as old as the rest of the house. Most parts of it, anyways. The bathroom, I'm sorry, Dennis can't talk. Daniel is on it. The basement was flooded and the carpet had to be replaced.
Is that a true statement?
I'm not even going to make you roll for that because there's no watermarks on the wall.
Okay.
It could have been a very small flood. Like, a toilet overflowing isn't going to leave watermarks, but yeah, you're going to replace that carpet.
But I could tell if I...
The basement is the size of this apartment, and that's just the room you're staying in.
And I'm assuming if there,
The water heater is
if it's original,
not in
if it's
this
original, are they original walls or drywall?
They're original.
So it's like stone masonry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yep.
We could see it if it's like.
Yep. And this is the only room that had the carpet replaced. The water heater is not in this room.
I will text her. Can I punch him now? Can we interrogate him yet? Can we interrogate him yet?
Darling, this is a city full of mages, and this is the oldest house here. One word, Hadoken.
I don't know what that means. No, I'm just kidding.
What does that mean?
It means they had to replace the carpet.
Terrible blood rights. That's not what happened at all.
Call him Ma.
So, he leads you on through the rest of the house. The attic is uneventful, but the four of you are back in the attic. Interestingly enough, the attic oh, no, it isn't entirely uneventful.
Is there anything in the spirits on the ephemeral side?
Everybody roll me, what's it called?
Does my specialty apply?
No.
So it's not a spirit.
The attic space, by the way, is several other rooms in the peaked roof section, that are joined by a widow's walk. So it's a walkway along the roof that has a
What?
iron bars.
It is also your job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will.
I'm the occultist.
So, once upon a time, in your pre-fall days, one of your targets thought to ward himself from angels.
That's adorable.
It can be done.
Still adorable.
You killed him.
He was unsuccessful.
He was unsuccessful.
Like I said,
But
it's
you know what a
adorable.
ward feels like.
Yes.
And that's the feeling that you get right now.
Okay.
A god machine ward.
Something in... Yeah, that's a thing. No, actually, angel wards are a thing.
You can't really ward against
Remember-
God.
Mather said that there was a ward in the building.
Yeah.
For the rest of you, you do... Nobody got an exceptional?
No.
No.
I was close. Can I spend a willpower?
No. No, sorry. You got a dramatic failure. It feels like a reward, but it reminds you of your angelic days.
Okay.
Reminds you of being connected to the God Machine. Your dramatic failure is that you don't make the intuitive leap of logic. For the rest of you, there's no hum, there's no noise, there's no clicking of gears or anything, but beyond the shadow of the doubt, you know that you are near the presence of a component piece of infrastructure.
So I found my blowhole?
No, you found something that contributes to an infrastructure. Some piece that then contributes to the occult matrix that powers the infrastructure. You don't know what it is, but you're in the attic, and that's what you find.
How would we go about?
There are rules that I have to look up, and that's way more time than 30 minutes, so
Okay.
make mental note of that. We'll assume that Daniel is very eagerly shepherding you guys through the attic, unless you don't necessarily have time to really investigate or explore other things.
It's good to make note of.
2 questions.
Yep.
Do I need to make any kind of investigation or occult roll for having gone through the secret passages, or did I just find nothing of interest in there?
You just found nothing interesting.
Okay. And same with the attic.
It just gave you that.
Okay.
It was
Like,
secret.
if... Okay, and I don't want to stay behind too much, because after they leave the attics when I kind of want to rejoin, because that's towards the end of the tour.
Well, it's already been way longer than 20 minutes.
We assume you're safe.
Yeah. So, after...
Nothing's blown up yet, so I mean...
So, after they
You're
leave
either
the
going to come
room,
back later or dies.
or as they leave the attic, I'm going to kind of look ambivalently around me towards the spirit I know is watching me,
Mhm.
and say, "Thank you for letting me observe and explore. I will now depart this side of the realm."
As you are transitioning, you see a flicker of something out in the backyard.
In the backyard.
It's just out of the corner of your eye, but it's as close to a response as you're ever going to get.
And
what kind of response that was?
A spirit response.
Maybe that was its version of winking at me.
Who the fuck knows?
Could have been winking at you, could have been flipping you off, could have been like, fuck, I didn't get a chance to eat you, could have been, my friend is eating me. It's a spirit.
Yeah.
And it was a flicker.
Maybe it likes me. And then I time it to where they get out the door, I pop in, I walk out immediately after.
That's
and-
opening and closing the door
Mhm.
with any particular force.
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to quietly be in the background with them.
Quietly rejoin the group.
Quietly rejoin the group. At the moment, I'm going to wait to announce myself once we're down the stairs.
But you need to.
Oh,
Okay. No.
What?
It-
what?
My option was you could roll Dex plus Stealth, because if he sees you before you break without a trace, he'll draw on fire.
Because he doesn't know who you are while you're there.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And him
It's a-
seeing you doesn't break without a trace. You have to bring attention to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is why I recommended opening and closing the door with a particular amount of force.
Actually, you know what? No, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that.
I was like, you
I
can
wasn't-
totally do that.
I wasn't thinking about, like, if he sees me there again, then he has no idea who I am. If
Nope.
I break the effect before he sees me,
Correct.
then I'm fine.
Yes.
So, yes, actually, because that's kind of what I explained in the first place.
It is. That's why I was like, oh,
I'm going to
he changed the plan and wants to kill
I'm going to
himself.
stick to my plan
Wants to kill
so I don't
himself.
kill myself, because I had this thought out before and I forgot about it.
No
I
worries.
would
I
close
accidentally
the door
slammed
a
the
little
door
bit
too.
harder and look sheepish.
I kind of, like, pull the door a little harder than I should and get this look of, like, oops.
He turns around and he's like, oh,
That door is lighter than I thought it would be.
yes, many of the buildings, rooms are like that. He's buttoning his coat again. He may or may not have merit. None of you ever saw him unbutton his coat in the first place.
Yes, stripper parents.
So, you wanted to use your resolution condition.
Yes.
What is your resolution condition? Or the resolution to your...
Squeak, squeak,
Uh,
squeak, squeak.
Apparently, it is to.
If we're going to lose all of the agenda cards before we lose any of the other ones.
I had it.
They just never make it back to the pile in time.
I had it right here.
Is it under your dice thing?
Oh, you're so brilliant. I love you, Nisi.
That's exactly how I feel.
Let my love be awkward to you.
What do you know? It's exactly what he wanted. It's not gonna be awkward.
Well, it's better than him giving me cashiers and telling me to lick his nuts. So there's that.
Hey, that was funny.
It's debatable.
I think it's funny.
Thank you. The character can make a leap of logic connecting disparate clues into a revelatory, that's a weird word, truth. Resolve this condition to gain information from the storyteller about how the current situation, period.
How the current situation affects the story.
Yeah, but
I know.
storyteller about how the current situation, period.
By the way, you guys left a typo.
I think they had to take that sentence out back and punish it.
Okay, so gain the beat, roll for your interlock, or roll your... actually, no, fuck it. Let me describe what you find before I...
Yeah, I was going to say, you normally conclude it and then have us roll at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. You can... I'm going to give you options because there are a lot of things in play. You can gain another clue for his investigation into Daniel.
Okay.
How
How many did you get so far?
He's got one.
Okay.
You have one, which is his parentage.
His mother.
The assistant director of... I mean, like, you already know, or I hope you already know, but this is bringing it so that your character knows.
Yeah.
And thus gives him another clue, which you can use to finish the investigation, if you so desire. That's option A. Option B, you can discover the plot point that is about to be revealed early.
Is there an option C?
Bend it.
Jar of almonds?
If you, I don't have a jar, but I do have some almonds if you would like option C.
I'll take the almonds.
Very well.
No, I'm just kidding. Alright, group. What do you think would be more advantageous? I'm kind of leaning towards selflessly using my agenda to bolster you. Which should give me.
Both sound interesting.
This is not solar experience.
Oh, come on!
We'll get to the system where that gets you rewarded, but we're not there yet.
They use D10s!
No.
I have something that does not apply to this situation.
I don't.
Oh, the VIP treatment? Yeah, something.
Well,
Actually,
I'm already
I was
getting
actually going to
VIP
use it.
treatment,
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, wow, I'd really like to try to tempt him to work for me. That's not what temptation... Because he knows I have money, and if I offer him a job working for me here, that would be tempting.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have anything to do with my thing.
No, I see. Now it's
Oh,
playing
or
something else.
option C, can I make a leap of logic about the infrastructure that this is connected to?
No,
Okay.
because that's option B. A. B. That's option B.
Oh. Alright, so do we want to know about the infrastructure? Because I kind of guessed it.
If you could research the infrastructure.
Well, I mean, I told you that there's a component piece of infrastructure in the
Yeah,
building.
I kind of figured that's where it was going to deal with, but I wasn't 100% sure.
So,
If
there's
you
no
could go
plot
ahead and
point.
research the infrastructure for me, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, so I can either
That
advance...
does count. He knows why you're here.
Yeah,
I'm totally... I would be willing to count that, but
sweet.
Okay,
it's up to the group.
so if I help you, you won't get a beat. If I help her, she will get a beat.
And a roll.
And,
No, 'cause
and, then,
I am
and then we both get a roll.
I am still doing dirty work, so she.
Okay,
Give her,
so I'm
give
going to go
her
with you,
cover.
so we both get a beat, and then we both get a roll on our interlocks.
Okay.
Because that's most advantageous to the group. Most rewarding for the choice.
Yes. So,
That and I get a plot point told to me point blank.
Yep.
you're passing by the window as you guys are going down the stairs. You're in the back of the house. You're headed towards the French doors on the first floor. And you're walking along the back wall. So you pass by one of the larger drawing room windows, which happens to be open. Outside, the landscape lighting is on. You can tell it isn't all of it because, well, the landscape is nothing to be looked at, really. And you feel it. Like, you take a moment to just look outside, and that's when you hear it. The faint hiss. Almost of a hydraulic. That brief, heart-pounding sensation that the one thing that wants you back more than anything else in the world is in that backyard. There's a patch of ground that looks odd. You can tell, like, so what your condition gives you, it's concealment infrastructure.
Which means it probably has another form of infrastructure inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of send a text to them.
Daniel's, of course, talking throughout.
There's concealment
Almost all of
infrastructure
this.
in that odd-looking patch of ground out back.
Well,
Near
there's
where the
concealment
lights-
infrastructure out back.
There's concealment infrastructure out back.
The odd patch of ground plays into it somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
One track mind. Would I be able to use that for my purposes?
Depending on what infrastructure it is concealing, yes.
Okay. Then I am now interested in this place, as it meets my one requirement.
Yes. I will say to the group that there is something here to satisfy all of you as far as ambitions or aspirations go.
Fantastic.
Find a weakness at the consulate.
Not that one.
One of your answers.
Make amends with werewolves.
No, not that one either.
Oh yeah, find abandoned infrastructure. And turn it into an aether farm.
Finding a source of aether.
Finding a source of
Unless this has also something to do with the bees.
Not the bees? Not the bees.
No, the bees were demonic.
I don't know.
Clean room?
Maybe.
Okay.
Masturbate furiously in an inappropriate location. That is the weirdest.
Wait, when did that become one of your aspirations? I don't remember. Anyway, as he shows you guys the back, like he basically opens one of the French doors and leads you onto the balcony in the back, the rest of you feel the hum of infrastructure. Like, even before he told, like, now that he's told you, it's like, oh, this was expected. It still makes your hearts flutter for any variety of reasons. Your old master is right outside your door, literally. It's a fucking source of aether, finally, whatever you choose. But it quickens your pulse.
I send another text. Food.
Destroy it?
Food.
If it's abandoned, you want to eat it, sweetheart.
Destroy it?
Aether farm.
Destroy.
If you destroy what could possibly be an aether farm before investigating and finding out if we can turn it into an aether farm,
Punch.
I will never forgive you.
Punch.
Destroy it.
Punch.
Destroy it.
Punch.
You've all stopped listening to Daniel.
I will break everything in your home.
None of you are listening and kind of trails off.
Like,
As we're all
So
staring strangely at the
while they're still
backyard.
strangely over,
I
I
think we'd
will-
all snap out of it about the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty much... And, like, I mean, feel free to roll subterfuge for your individual characters, because otherwise, the way it plays out to Daniel is, like, the four of you pull out your phones and start texting and looking at the back. And he kind of trails off, and you all turn and look at him at the same time. And there is nothing on any of your faces. So, I mean, feel free to roll subterfuge. Otherwise...
And he's just like, the others are here.
I think it's thematically appropriate that I'm going to not.
But
Like there'll be that moment of like I'll like looking at him and I'll realize, and all of a sudden humanity will return. To
Yeah.
I think we should do that.
Yeah,
Just like
that-
let that happen, and then like all at the same time in a split second, just boom. Oh no, there's human.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're totally.
And I'll go ahead and like
There's
There's
normal-
Earth human.
I'll essentially attack him socially to bamboozle him to like cover up that faux pas. But
Only because that's just
I am
so
not
fucking
cow. Do
easy.
you want two skateboards, eh?
I am real boy.
I am real boy.
You want two skateboards?
let's go do some human activities now.
Let's shove our human faces full of human food.
Animal byproducts and
Let's shove our human faces full of humans. I mean, human food.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. It's fine. You step in, and you smooth it over.
For since it's 9:30,
Mhm.
the last doors. I essentially, having gathered all the information I now know about Daniel, I was going to my next social attempt would be to trigger my own resolution for the Tempters for VIP, and mention that I'm a historical member from some other city.
Mhm.
To you
I
know,
got some beats.
and essentially what the overarching end state, the overarching obvious on the table conversation will be to getting her the directorship.
Right.
So that's what I'll be talking about. But I want to try and subtly include, this is what my character does.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you.
Oh.
I'm out of bless yous.
Okay.
Do the same thing.
Essentially working in that I'm part of a historical society, or was, before, unless that's lifetime, whatever. Anyways, part of a historical society, triggering my VIP thing. I also want to, since I'm pretty sure, given the hints of the GM, that he's got a mommy thing. My character is approximately mommy age.
I was going to offer him a job.
And,
I still.
well, you know, I mean, that can be worked in if you want that to be worked in.
You do know who he is, right?
No. What?
Harper?
Yeah,
I forgot her.
Janine.
He's
Janine's son.
Janine's son.
Yeah.
I didn't know Janine's last name.
Oh, yes, Janine Harper.
That's fair.
Anyway,
Essentially, since he's
Yes.
got mommy issues, I'll play up the classic Freudian Oedipus stuff.
go ahead
I
and...
didn't know Janine had a son.
No one knew.
Now you know.
Actually, no, the internet knew. It's on the wiki. It's on the wiki under lifelong education, though. Like, you had to, like...
Yeah.
And Brian hid the link. He told me about it because I was a storyteller. But he, like, the link is hidden in the page. Yes.
It's like
Well, I
the
was-
word is the link.
It's something... No, it's her name, but he changed the link color so you can't see it unless you're hovering over it.
Yeah.
I was like, you
Subtle.
stinky fuck. Well done.
Subtle.
I think I gave him experience for that, too. Anyways,
I've seen where people like written it in white, so you have to highlight it to read it.
manipulation plus socialize, please.
Plus socialize.
I cannot eat any more bacon.
Is that a
My
minus one?
specialty for seduction falls under persuasion. Would it apply at all? Since I'm eking that into my social maneuver, or no?
No.
Okay. He gets -1.
Yes, I took that out.
Alright.
You get the +3 from resolving your conditions.
Sweet. 2, 3.
You get shit.
So do I.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll gain a beat.
You do gain a beat. Would you like to make it a dramatic failure?
That's how I gain a beat, isn't it?
No, you gain a beat because you resolved your agenda condition. Would you like to make it a dramatic failure and gain another beat?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, that bridge is burned.
Nope.
No, that's
Nope.
not what it is.
Because
Oh.
I've got a solution to this problem.
So I guess he won't be accepting the job offer because creepy lady keeps hitting on him.
Oh, not at all. He seems very interested.
Oh, okay. Do I have to roll?
For what, the job offer?
Yeah.
You mentioned anything leading into a job offer, and he very politely mentions that he's extremely happy where he is.
And in a family business.
It may or may not come up again, depending on how persistent you are. Meaning, effectively, there's more than money keeping him here.
There's more than what?
Money keeping him here.
Mommy dearest.
No, more than mommy. Okay, I thought you said
Money.
money.
No,
Money.
more than money keeping him here.
Okay.
Mommy dearest is
Like, if it was just
Yeah.
money as the question, he would take the job like that. But
But he has familial obligations. Which seem very, very important to him for some reason.
Well, I was suggesting that he work here so that way, he gets to stay around this particular site.
I will reiterate some facts for
Okay.
Sharon that
Okay.
have escaped her.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You did not put the mystery together the way that I expected you to. Interesting. Here is the solution that I intended.
Okay.
The curatorship
Mhm.
is the head of the Historical Society.
So, as a curator, I would be head of the Historical Society, not working for it.
Correct. The duties of the head of the Historical Society, however, are mostly handled by the assistant director. I'm sorry, the curator is the director of the Historical Society.
Okay.
The duties of it are handled by the assistant director of the Historical Society.
so that the curator can focus on Ember Hill.
Correct.
Okay.
The reason why that's set up that way is because in the mage game, the curator is most often a mage who is handling the resource that is Ember Hill.
Correct.
And therefore, a sleepwalker
Janine
Mm-hmm.
is the assistant director who actually,
handles the actual business of the Historical Society.
as the mage, handles the actual real purpose of it.
Well, of Ember Hill specifically.
Yeah.
The entirety of the Historical Society is
To protect
not
them.
under the
Yeah.
thumb of the Concilium as an edification for Pope
Yeah.
Ryuhan.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I
So-
was thinking I would not be given head of this Historical Society as a non-mage.
No.
Interesting fact.
He explained. He actually explained that. I don't know if you explained that to me or on the threads, but the way Mobius left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I just explained that to you.
Oh, okay. Do you care if I say, or do
No,
you want to say it?
go ahead.
Okay. So the way Mobius left,
Mm-hmm.
there was mistakes made.
Mm-hmm.
Not like mistake, but like just the way he left it in such a way to where they lost control over it.
So now there is no mage there to say that a mage needs to take his place.
Yes.
Which means the deciding factor of where this building goes
Mm-hmm.
is Janine, because she's the one who handles the building.
Yep. And Janine doesn't belong to the Concilium anymore either.
Well, that's up in the air.
Yeah, it's up in the air. They haven't re-secured her yet.
The Drinkers of Aleph never really bothered to investigate what was happening with Janine after Mobius left. Long story short, Janine, like Ember Hill, fell through the cracks.
Well, that's not entirely fair. We asked after her and said if she
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to be our
No,
friend,
no.
and she said thank you, no thanks. And
I'm tied up in Concilium politics at the moment.
Mhm.
Was why she declined. Was
Mhm.
because I don't know what's happening yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the political message. Was I don't know what's happening yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let me figure that out first.
Because from a political standpoint, from a non-political standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
Ember Hill and Janine could have gone to either the Concilium or the Drinkers of Aleph.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 2-3 year game behind this one, so that's where all of this information is coming from. But I'm happy that they're explaining it because that way you guys are not left in the dark.
Yeah. So
Also,
me.
what is this fourth wall, or either of you guys?
Okay, Deadpool.
we tried to scare her. She politely rebuffed us, and we assumed that was the end of the story, and that we did not have rights to her, as she was a person, independent, and we treated her as such, not a resource that we needed to try to stake a claim on.
But that's just
Which
it.
was-
She responded the way she did because she's a resource to be claimed.
Mm-hmm. And that was how the rest of the Consilium treated her, which is how she managed to fall through the cracks and take Ember Hill with her. Generally, when a new watchtower shows up, shit gets left by the wayside. Janine and Ember Hill are one of them.
Yep. And which is a huge loss to the mages if we get that.
Which is funny for this game, shitty for our other game.
I told you guys there would be points when to remind you guys, actually, I did mention, and I don't know if it was on camera, I want you guys to use these characters to tell the story of the city, not just one supernatural group.
Okay.
So there will come times when you'll have to decide, what's the story that I want the city to go through, less than what's the story that I want to go through.
I think it would be.
Mickey Swift wants this place.
I think it would be far more interesting as a story for the city.
Oh, absolutely.
If such an important supernatural location changed hands.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
I think that would be phenomenally fascinating, especially seeing it from both sides when we go back to the mage game.
I just like to mess with mages. Just because people tell me.
Well, and then
not to.
feasibly...
Mages can give really good blowjobs when they back it with magic, too.
Oh, wow.
Well, and then
Bit of
feasibly,
versus.
like I've explained to Nisi before as well, you guys will have your chance to again contribute to the Sidis, likely in a different supernatural community when we go back to the mage game.
Yeah.
So you guys will be able to see from the mage perspective how your demon's actions have affected
and
the
then I'll
city
say, fucking demons.
and the mage game, just as they're getting to see how their mage's actions have affected demons and the city.
Okay.
Fascinating. Alright, so I guess to leave it off,
Oh, we need to do our rolls for our interlock.
Yeah, I was
All three of you
I was
need to-
keeping that in the back. Do I do it for resolution or just for when you get beat?